Howdy, y'all. My name is Gavin Couture. This is my fellow student senator, Cassandra Stevens, and we're here to tell y'all about our student senate plan.
The Blazers Student Senate initiative for the 2018-2019 school year was centered around the problem of hunger and food insecurity within our community. 60% of Ashland students qualified for USDA free and reduced meals at school, and nearly 12% have identified as homeless. We have seen a slight increase this year in the number of students qualifying for free and reduced lunch, and we have been focusing this year on meeting their hungry needs through our Community Challenge Grant and our Student Senate plan. Our school is a part of a CEP program, which is the Community Eligibility Provision Program, which is a non-pricing meal service option for schools and districts in low-income areas. The CEP allows our district to serve one breakfast and one lunch to every student at no cost to our families. Our school typically serves an average of 200 students breakfast each day. With Blazers enrollment at 911, only 22% of students actually participate in the breakfast program. We started to wonder how many students were skipping out on breakfast, because fueling your body and mind in the morning is important to student success. And was there something that we could do to incentivize these students to eat in the morning?
We conducted a survey in our school to see what kids were eating, who weren't, and their reasoning behind not eating. We distributed the survey to all of the homeroom classes to give each student the opportunity to have a voice. And then we had a group of student volunteers who tallied up the results and gave us the answers, which were, we were encouraged by our findings. When asked if they eat breakfast 4 or more times a week, 359 students answered yes, while 358 answered no. Students cited a lack of time or running late to first period as the number one result for skipping breakfast. 75% of students surveyed said they would participate in a grab-and-go breakfast program. The survey also allowed students to express which menu items they preferred, as well as providing suggestions on new menu items. Chicken biscuits and different flavors of muffins and donuts were by far the most popular choices.
In response to the survey results, we set out to design the grab-and-go breakfast program that would serve as an extension on the current cafeteria program that we already had. We collaborated with the food service director throughout the entire process. Students running late to first period may not be able to go through the cafeteria line. We aim to increase student participation in breakfast by offering it on campus between first and second periods. Similar programs have been implemented in our district with positive results, so we use those as a guiding reference to create ours.
We had 3 carts to serve the prepackaged breakfasts to ensure that there was speedy service. The carts were placed in strategic locations on campus with the most foot traffic. The food service workers were responsible for preparing and serving the breakfasts. They were accessible between first and second period, but the students were limited to 1 free breakfast each day, meaning that if they were to go to the cafeteria before first period, they're not able to have one after first period. Since we have USDA regulations that we must meet, we had to ensure that all meals meet the requirements. Each meal has to have a whole grain, a milk, and a fruit. The breakfast packs in this program all fall within the guidelines. The grab-and-go program now allows students that missed the morning cafeteria service a second opportunity to have a healthy breakfast.
So here are pictures of where we presented at the Blazer faculty meeting, and we shared the results of our survey with the teachers, and we explained how a more efficient, more accessible breakfast is likely to increase the number of students eating in the morning. We also urged that the program should not be an acceptable excuse for tardiness, but that we asked for their patience from the first couple dry runs to see how late they would actually be to class. And the teachers' response was overwhelmingly positive, and they were just as excited for us and felt that the project was long overdue.
The first day of service included 2 food carts set up in busy locations on campus that were equipped with tablets. As the students approached the cart, they could choose between powdered or chocolate donuts or a hot chicken biscuit, which were really good. All meals were served with milk and a fruit.
We served 62 second chance breakfasts. Combined with the morning meals served in the cafeteria, a total of 209 students ate breakfast. This was a record high in breakfast participation for us. Typically, only 22% of students participate in our breakfast program, and by including the grab-and-go breakfast option, we increased participation by 10%.
We would now like to share with you some of the student responses that we got from our first run of the program. The students were very positive and appreciative to have the opportunity. Next up, we will continue to provide healthy breakfast options for the remainder of the school year that will be available 2 days a week. The menu options will be based on the feedback that students provided through the survey, and our collaborative efforts with the district food service director has resulted in being awarded a $4,000 Fuel Up to Play 60 grant.
The Play 60 grant funds will be utilized in purchasing additional hot and cold serving carts with tablets with entry pads in them, and the Blazers art departments will be designing what is on the outside of those carts. Lastly, we will continue to pursue grant opportunities and collaborate with the food service director. We will also explore opportunities for our CATS catering program to create and serve USDA-approved breakfast meal options. And we will also continue to find ways to increase student participation in the breakfast program and to combat breakfast for the students in Paul G. Blazer. Any questions?
I just have a comment. I think that's a great idea that y'all do it between first and second, because we have so many kids that are coming right when the bell rings, they don't get that opportunity to experience.
How do you ensure that they don't have breakfast in the cafeteria and in their grab?
There's a punch card where you type in your lunch number that every student has, so it would show up if they had already been through it in the morning.
The tablets on the grab-and-go carts are connected to the,
Yes.
Does the food service worker monitor that? Or is it
Yes, the food service.